we are living in the digital era, and almost everyone is having digital devices in their hands. Whether it can be your mobile devices, your laptop, or server, or desktop, or IoT devices, it can be anything. Have you ever think about when you are opening anything on internet? Okay, let's take an example of your mobile devices. Suppose you want to search some data on internet, and you typed a query. Okay, and when you typed an query, uh, and just after clicking on enter, you immediately get the information with a fraction of second. Whether that information is near to you, okay, or in the other city, or on the other continent, it can be far, 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 far away, thousands of the kilometers away, that information, but immediately it is appearing on your device. How that could be possible? Behind the scene, what is happening? How the information is coming to you just only in fraction of seconds? Okay, so there are billions of networking devices working behind the scene, which are taking your information and forwarding to the desired destination, and whatever the information you have requested, it is going to send to you on your devices. Okay, so there are billions of devices, and then definitely those devices are not simple to configure. They are not like plug and play. They need to configure, and to configure those devices, definitely they need IT professionals who are trained in the configuration of those devices, who understand how those devices are working. Okay, so in the quest of this thought, I was thinking, why not to launch a workshop so that it can help the IT professionals, um, or the any guy who wants to understand how the things are working behind the scene. Okay, so who wants to make their career in networking field, who want to be as a network engineer, or want to understand what exactly is the internet, how the company's network worked for you, your organization. This is the workshop I'm going to launch, and it is not just only the theoretical concepts. It is highly practical, and I'm going to say uh, teach you how to configure those devices. And it's not about only the few concepts. I'm going to take an example where if you are going to follow the same instructions what I'm going to tell you, you would be able to create a say example, for example, a university's campus network, how to configure it, and how we can run a company's or network, or say university network. Okay, so let's begin it and follow the steps. I hope you will learn a lot many things into it. Okay, although I have I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. I want uh, maximum people or IT professionals should understand it, uh, how to configure those networks, and how the things are working behind the scene. Clear? So what exactly it can be in the workshop? So here, if you will say, this is the workshop that is you are going to build a real multi-campus network. And when you are going to finish this workshop, you will feel like, okay, I'm like a networking pro. I'm able to configure, I'm able to design, I'm able to configure, I'm able to secure, troubleshoot, or document it. Okay, and it is 100% hands-on. I will try to cover, say, zero theory into it. Okay, because networking field in itself is a complex field and I cannot cover each and everything in this workshop. Okay, uh, even uh, when you are going to finish this workshop, whatever uh, you will learn during this workshop, you can use to publish this information on your LinkedIn profile, on your Facebook profile, and definitely it is going to help you uh, to enhance your enhance your profile as well. Okay, so let's start what exactly it is in the workshop. So this is the complete practical step-by-step networking workshop where I'm going to cover highly advanced networking knowledge and hands-on experience with you. So be ready and follow the steps what I'm going to study. First of all, when we are going to understand what are the requirement of the we can say of your network configuration. First of all, you need to understand what exactly is the requirement, how the things are working, or what the company or organization wants from you. Clear cut understanding of these things gonna help you to design a better network. Okay, you will be able to document it well, you will be able to secure it well, you will be able to uh, present the information in front of the person to whom you need to tell yes what you have done during the project configuration. Okay, or your topology, or you say network configuration. Clear? So first of all, we are going to understand on which particular topology we will work. Okay, and what the requirement of this one. Clear? So here is suppose there is there is a university. Okay, and on this university, suppose its name is NovaTech University. Okay, you can see here there are say there are multiple buildings in it. Okay, and we need to configure this building, their network, and the people who are working in it or using the IT infrastructure, they would be able to use the resources, whatever the resources allocated to the specific department or for the students or whatever it is. So here is basically there are main two campus of it. One campus name is Olympus site. Okay, and here is this part you can see uh, from this portion is the Olympus site. Clear? And there is another site, its name is Atlas NX. Okay, Atlas NX is a smaller site, and we need to uh, configure the topology on the base of this information. Clear? And in the Olympus site there are basically three buildings. Okay, in building A is administration and business department. Okay, in building B there is engineering, computing, art and design, where this is the building B, this is building A, and here is the building C, where is the students lab, IT departments are working here. Okay, so in NovaTech University Olympus site or Olympus campus, we can say there are basically three buildings, building A, B, C, and these are the different departments under these buildings. Another site, which is Atlas NX site, there is a building, there is only one building here mainly, and this building is having the department say health and science for staff and students. Okay, here is a tip for you, like whatever the basic requirement of any topology or any network, what you need to do is you need to say you need to uh, first of all you need to note it down. Okay, note down all the important points what is in the specific topology. Like in NovaTech University there are two buildings, clear, Olympus and Atlas. And here in Olympus side there is a three buildings, building A, B, C, okay, and there is one building in the Atlas site where you need to configure for health science staff and students, clear. So after understanding the design of the uh, this particular university, how you are going to configure, what are the requirement, clear. You need to understand what is the project requirement, clear. So what is the scenario and what is the scope of this particular project. What you can do is create a document, okay, a Word document you can create. Over there you can write your name and when you are going to start this project, working on this particular project, okay, give the name of the project as well, okay. You can give the say NovaTech University Network project, clear. And what is the scenario and the scope of this project. Like NovaTech University is a large academic institution requiring a secure, okay, you need to take care of what you need to take care of, security. We also need to secure segmented and fully routable networking infrastructure across two campuses. As I told you, there are two campus, okay, Olympus and Atlas NX. So what we need to do is there are separate departments across these two campuses, and what we need to do, we need to make the separate department of it. It is this is indicated here, okay. Segmented means separate department, separate network for that. And fully routable networking infrastructure, it means here is what you need to do is you are going to configure the network in a way so that everybody is able to access resources of the campus, clear. And the distance between the Olympus site and Atlas site is 20 miles away, okay. So we need to take care of it. These two campuses are 20 miles apart. So it is an important point. Why? Once we need to say connect site A with site uh, Olympus site with Atlas site, we need to take care of it, okay. 20 miles means which cable we need to use to give the connectivity, clear. And the primary goal of this phase is to establish secure layer 2 segmentation using VLANs, dynamic layer 3 routing between all internal networks. What these terms are, I will make you understand once we will start configuration part on this particular project, clear. And here is the other important point which you need to also understand. Provide physical connectivity and logical isolation for eight distinct departments or faculties. So there are basically 8 departments, okay. If you will go back and if you will see here, there are like administration and business, there is engineering, computing, art, design, okay, labs, IT departments, health and science for students and for staffs. So there are 8 distinct departments where you need to provide the isolation between these 8 departments, okay. And physically they should be connect with each other. And it is telling you routing protocol you need to use RIP version 2, okay. There are different routing protocols which we can use, but here is specifically mentioned, yes, you have to use only the RIP version 2 dynamic routing protocol. What it is, I'm going to explain once I will start the configuration. Implement a router based DHCP server, okay. So when the IP addresses we are going to assign to our devices, either we can manually set those IP addresses, or we can use DHCP services, dynamic host configuration protocol. Automatically it is going to assign IP addresses to the devices. So we need not to configure the IP addresses on the devices. We are going to use DHCP. Okay, and DHCP we are going to configure on the router. Clear? And it is situated on the administrative and business stuff. So router, where it is DHCP we need to configure on this building. Clear? We need to take care, yes, this is the building where we need to configure the DHCP. Okay, and it is on the router. So where it is, here will be a router. Let me make the picture of the router. Okay, so this is I'm going to represent the router. So here on the on this building we are going to place a router, and we will configure DHCP on it. Clear? So this is the point, should be noted down. Clear? And here is ensure all devices can reach the external cloud email server via a static route. Okay, so what you need to do is suppose there is on the cloud, okay, on internet, they have a email server. Okay, so here is the email server. Clear? So all the departments, all the people in this university, they should be able to access this email server. So this this point means you need to create the reachability for everyone for this particular email server. Okay, and the next point is here is apply basic security measures, support security on access switches. So whatever the switches you are going to use, what switches are, I will also explain. um, you need to configure port security unit. I tried my best to keep this thing, all those concepts is very simple in it, because I want to make it understandable for most of the candidates who are going to attend this workshop. Clear? So we are not going to implement a lot many security on it, although we can, but here I want to keep the things very simple. So only for the security point of view, we are going to implement only port security on the switches. Clear? So this is the requirement of your project. What you need to do is note it down, or suppose you are going from very starting, you are going to uh, create a document where you are noting down every important point which is which is required, or maybe during the configuration of your devices you need it. So as per your understanding, which is very important point, you need to make a note of it. Okay, next thing what we can do is um, information about the site. We are now going little bit deeper on into the documentation type. Okay, so on the documentation you need to make the things understandable. Okay, it is like the information which is in your head, you are going to present it on the paper. So other person, suppose you leave the place, or you are going to present this information to anybody, when things are in your head, it will be only with you. That information will be only with you. It is very hard for anybody to understand. And once you are going to make a well document, it is going to help the other person to understand what was your modus operandi, how you configured the things. And suppose you leave the job, so other people can take over it and can understand what the configuration you have done for the organization network. Clear? So suppose we have noted down, like there are different locations in our university campus, like Olympus site. There is a building 1, okay, and in building 1 there is a department, say like admin department. There can be management, HR, finance, okay. In building A, there was another department was also there. There was a faculty of business. Clear? So 1, 2. These are the main department in building A. In building B, there are faculty of engineering, computing, and art and design. These were the 2 different departments were in the building B. In building C, there was a student labs and IT department. Okay, so in building C, there were these departments were there. In Atlas Annex, there was a faculty of health and science for staff and for the students. And we also have the server, say web server or other server there can be. Okay, so suppose there is a web server which is situated on the Olympus site. We also need to take care of it. Yes, there is a server where we need to configure in our topology. Clear? And this is till this point, if you will say demarcation point is here. This is the internal information about the university. Clear? And this is the external information, we can say. Our cloud email server is on the external cloud. Okay, so this is not on the on site of university. This is outside, and there is a WAN link campus to campus. So when we are going to connect the device of Olympus site with the Atlas Annex site, we are going to use the WAN link. Means here is the serial link you are going to use, serial cable you are going to use to give the connectivity between 2 sites. Clear? And after noting it down, yes, these are the different locations and different departments into it. Web server is there, there is a cloud email server, there is a campus to campus link. What will be the our next thing? Next thing is, it's better make a diagram. Okay, I always use to design the diagram by hand. Why it's so important? For me it was important, and for me it clicked. Okay, I hope this will be also going to helpful for you. When we design the diagram or the topology, we can say, on paper, it is giving the more clarity. Okay, it's like something is more clear to you. It is giving more clarity in your thought system. Yes, where exactly is the building, what are the devices we are going to place when we will configure these these diagrams, these devices. Clear? So like here is whatever in this last slide here, locations, departments, and if we want to draw in the diagram, what it can be, for you it can be different. Okay, what I design it here, like I designed it on the paper. Okay, suppose there is 2 site Olympus site and the Atlas Annex site. Clear? So these were the 2 sites, and on site Olympus, there was building A, building B, building C. Clear? And there was departments like admin, business department, engineering and computing department, art and design department, that was in building B. This was in building A, and in building C there was a labs and IT department. Okay, under building C. There was a web server as well. Okay, suppose we are going to place it in building 1, building A. clear. And on the Atlas NX site there is health and science for staff and for the student, clear. So this was the diagram I have created, and there was a email server which is on cloud, clear. Further giving more clarity to this diagram, then definitely we need to think, okay, how many devices, estimated devices may required for the whole connectivity, okay. uh, Although in this particular topology, note the how many users will be on different buildings. It's not given, okay, because if that will be the information I'm going to include, it will make this project very complex, okay. So to make the things very simple, what I did is here on physical infrastructure component, what we need is like to organize the two campus locations in the packet trace workspace. We will use server rooms, wiring, close set structure, okay. When we are going to make the test bed, we can say, or a network topology, or we can say pilot project for it, okay, what is required before configuring each and everything on the actual production environment, we should test it on a lab environment or on a simulation. So you will get the better idea, yes, what exactly is the configuration we need to do, how the things are working before before starting configuration on the actual production devices, clear. So here is I have categorized all the devices into two categories. First of the physical infrastructure components, okay, and another is network devices, clear. When you are maybe you have seen something, say rack, or say your wire closet uh, in some building, maybe you have noticed or not. Once you will see the picture, you will be able to notice it, okay. I'll show you. Suppose we have the rack where we are going to place our devices can be networking devices, can be your router, your switches, clear. So definitely we need a structure, okay. We need a specific place where we are going to place our devices into it. So we need a rack, for example, okay. So at least we, as per our requirement, we need two racks, okay, one for our Olympus site, okay, and one for our Atlas NX site, clear. uh, so number of rack where we are going to place our devices, we want to make a neat and clear topology, nice topology, and definitely we need a rack for it for each of the site. So two minimum rack we need it, clear. And tables, suppose 5 tables we need to place the students, place to for the local staff, or say outside central desk rack, okay. So it can be depend upon how many users are expected there, or how many labs are there, how many devices are there. So it can vary, okay. So we will make change of it, can be 50 or whatever it is. So for the timing, let's take it, let's start with the number of table is, say 5 tables we are going to use it. And how many networking devices, as per understanding of the topology or network requirements. Suppose there are routers which required on Olympus site is one router we are going to use, and this is the model number of the router, and why we are going to use the router, and what is switches, I will explain. So here is the we are making, like, say, inventory list, how many devices may we need it. So access switches for, say, For building A, we need one switch. For building B, building C, these are the, suppose we are going to give the name of these switches, and this is the model number of the switch. So 3 switches we are going to use on Olympus side, and a web server, okay, which is also we are going to place on Olympus side. There are small campus router we are going to place on Atlas NX side. Okay, it can be another model number as well, or we are going to use 2900 Cisco devices. And on the access switch, there is only one building, so we are going to use only say 1 switches. There are how many number of devices are going to connect with the switches? It is directly going to decide how many switches you need. Okay, suppose on a switch which is having 24 possible ports providing the connectivity to the devices, then 24 devices can be connected with it. Okay, if there are number of devices, more devices, then definitely we need to purchase one more switch. Okay, it's depend upon how many devices you are going to connect with the switch. Clear? So this is the estimate of how many number of devices you need. Clear? And once we have clarity, like there are 2 sites, there are 8 possible departments. Okay, and now here is the topology. We are going to create the topology. As I told you, try to create the topology on a paper. Okay, believe me, it is going to help you a lot. Okay, so I have created this more refined topology. Here you can see there was 2 sites, Olympus site and the Atlas site. So on 2 of the sites I have placed the router. This is the symbol of the router. So one site on Olympus site, one router, Atlas site, another router. There are 1 switches for each building. Okay, so switch for building A, building B, building C, and this is for building Atlas. On Atlas site there is one switch. Okay, and there are number of devices we have connected. Okay, and there is a email server, okay, which is on the cloud, and we also need to provide connectivity for this email server to all the devices who are in the university network. Okay, whether it's in Olympus site or the Atlas site, they must have the accessibility for the email server or to the internet as well. Clear? So the link between router 1 and router Atlas, on Olympus and Atlas, we are going to provide the serial link connectivity for the WAN link. Clear? So there is the connectivity, it is showing these 2 routers. And now let's say what are the departments will be on these switches we are going to configure. Say on switch A, the people who are going to connect, they will be from admin and business department. On switch B, there will be engineering and computing, art and design. On switch C, there will be lab and IT department. On the switch Atlas, there will be health and sciences for staff and health and science for students. Clear? There is a web server which we are going to place on the site on building A. Okay, and here is the it was mentioned like this router should be connect here, because DHCP we are going to configure on this router, and it was mentioned in the document it should be connect here. Okay, so it should not be here. We are going to connect this router with this switch. Okay, so easily you can I used pencil to draw it, so I can erase it and can give the connectivity to this switch. Clear? So in this way, draw your topology, understand your project requirement, and it is going to help you at the time of the configuration. Okay, so main thing here we understood, yes, this will be the network topology, how many devices we are going to use in our topology. Clear? The next thing is, okay, we understand, yes, these are the different locations, different departments. Now what will be the IP addresses? What exactly is the IP addresses? Every device what we are going to use, whether your mobile devices, your router switches, your laptop, your desktop, your server, your IP phone, your IoT devices, every device is having some sort of identity on it. Okay, there is identity that is the manufacturer of those devices, when they are going to manufacture it, there is a unique identity for each and every devices. We call it MAC address, media access control address. Okay, that is burned on the device. We cannot change it, although in say in hacking it's possible, but not permanent, because this is written on the devices. Clear? So this is one of the thing which we cannot change. But here on the configuration of the devices, definitely there is some sort of addressing which we can assign by own. Okay, and it is the logical addressing, it's not physical, it's not fixed on the devices. So the identity of the devices which we are going to identify, yes, this is the particular device we are going to communicate with it, and we are going to assign the identity, and we call it IP address, Internet Protocol address. Clear? So every address what we are going to assign it, it can be IP version 4 or IP version 6. To make the things simple, I am going to use IP version 4. Okay, so I hope you have seen it before, even like the IP address is 192.168.1.1/10.1, whatever it is. Okay, so the IP addresses which we are going to use, there are you can say 4 sections into it. Okay, this section, after this there is a dot, there is another number, then dot, then a number, dot, and then number. Okay, this number can be on these 4 section, there can be the number between 0 to maximum to 55. What is the logic behind it? I cannot discuss these things right now here, because in the networking course I have explained each and everything in detail. If I'm going to explain here, it will be a very long workshop. Okay, so for the time being, understand it here right now. There is an identity we are going to assign it. So for different department, isolation was the requirement. Okay, so we want logically every department should have different identity. And why we need it? We can control the connectivity, security, troubleshooting, we make easy. If it will be like, suppose there is a big house, and if we don't have separate rooms, each and every people in the house, they are sitting in a big hall. When one is communicating, all are listening, the your things are scattered here and there. It is like a mess up, and if you need to find it out something, you need to search in the complete say big hall. So making the things simple, what we need to do is we are going to create separate rooms, Suppose there are three family members and we are going to create uh, in the house there are three separate in room for each and everyone. So one is talking, then it's not disturbing the other person. Whatever their belongings, they are going to keep it in their room, and if they going to find it out something, they need to find it out in a single room, not to the everyone else mm, room. Okay, so when we are saying, okay, there are the different 8 departments, we understood as different 8 departments are there, and for every department we want the segmentation, isolation from rest of the other department. Okay, so we are going to give the different IP addresses from the different network. When we are saying different network, that means it is isolating it. It simply looks like these are simple, these are okay going to communicate with each other, but no. When we are saying network address, it is until unless we will not configure whom are going to communicate with whom, automatically they are not going to communicate. Okay, so logically we are going to separate each and every department. Physically they are also connected, and later we are going to make them communicate with each other. Clear? So here is the different network addresses mentioned here, and the IP addresses will be, when I'm saying the network address, that means for the admin department which is in building A, all the devices will use these IP addresses, three sections, same. Okay, change will be here, like 192.168.10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4 till 10.54. Last one is the network address part, which we cannot use. Okay, which we cannot assign to the device. And last one is the broadcast address, which we also not give to the devices. Okay, if you suppose we are going to give the broadcast address to a devices, uh, when it is going to send the information, everyone is going to receive it. Okay, it's because it's like it is not having the one identity, it is for everyone. Suppose in a classroom, if there are 50 students, and if teacher need to announce something, they will say hello everyone. So last IP address 255, in case of /24, there is a logic behind it. I cannot explain here right now. So for the simplicity, let's make it the last IP address, which is in case of this network address is 255. It is not always 255. Okay, again when we are going to segment the bigger network into smaller subnets, this IP addresses which is the last one is 255 is going to change. So what I'm saying, it is not always true. 255 is the broadcast address. Okay, so but in this case I'm making the things simple, I'm keeping the things simple. So for your understanding, see it, the first address which is last part is 0, we are not going to use. Last one is 255, we also not going to use. So the usable IP address is you can say, just a minute, one, I'm talking about only this section, last one, 1 2 254. These are the usable IP addresses which we are going to use. Okay, these are valid, no issue with that one, anyone you can use it. Clear? So similar thing is for site B. Okay, and what we are going to use is okay, there is another column, you can see here the VLAN ID. So virtually we are also giving the separate identity. Okay, virtual local area network. Okay, local area network, suppose there is a one department and all the devices we want should communicate, that means they are in a single local area network. Okay, on the switches we can also, although they are connected with the one devices, but If we want, there are the few devices should not communicate with the other devices on the same devices on the same switch. We don't want the devices are connected should communicate. We can separate them on the with the help of the VLAN as well. Clear? So this is the identity we are giving for admin department. VLAN number is 10 and this is the network we will use to assign the IP addresses on the devices. Clear? Similar thing for building a faculty of business. There is a VLAN is 20 and the IP address we are going to use from this range. Okay. So you can see there are the IP network address assigned. So the IP addresses which we will use from these network addresses. Clear? And the web server, there is a web server and we will use the IP address from this range. And the external email server which is situated on the cloud. Suppose this is the IP addresses for that, but this is the IP address for the particular cloud email server. So we also need to configure it. Clear? And there is WAN link, when campus to campus, Olympus to Atlas NX campus. When we are going to connect, this is the IP addresses IP address from this range we are going to use it. Clear? There is WAN/30 or WAN/24. What does it mean? I will also explain later. Clear? So here is VLAN ID is not applicable here in this case. There is only applicable in case of the VLAN in switches. Clear? So you also need to mention, yes, these are the different departments, these are the IP addresses we are going to use. You can make the table in the Excel, okay, or create a nice document on Word document. Whatever the application you want to use, it's your choice, but you need to make the things in a better way. It is going to help you when you are you will troubleshoot the things. Clear? So this is the identification of the requirement of the IP addresses. Clear? And the software which we will use to configure our topology, okay, or pre-production, you can say staging, test bed, or pilot topology for your for your university campus. Okay, we are going to use Cisco Packet Tracer here. Okay. This is a link you can also download. I will also provide the link, okay, from directly where you can download it. But if you want to do it by own, then there you need to create the account here, and after creating the account, you can download the software Cisco Packet Tracer, where we are going to use in this topology. There are other way you can also configure your topology, like GNS3 you can use. You can purchase your actual devices which are expensive. I don't recommend it. GNS3, yes, this is wonderful software where you can use the actual operating system of the actual devices. Okay, but it is a little bit complex to configure and to use. I want to make the things simple and easy for you, so that you can also follow me and can configure by own and get the wonderful experience and confidence. So here is this is the website from where you can uh, we understood, yes, these are the different say um, different devices we have. Okay, so you are not going to mess the thing. Make the things very clear, precise, and the way it is easy to troubleshoot. Clear? Like you can see, suppose there is a rack, you can say it's mashed up here. You can say it's hard to identify which cable is going to which particular device. Clear? So make the things nice and clear. Use tags when you are going to configure it on the actual devices. Okay, why I'm telling you here and why it's important. why I'm telling you here, because you are going to start the things from scratch. So make this as a habit. Clear? So uh, when you have the clear picture in your mind, you are going to draw the things, or you are going to design the things in this way. It is going to help you later. Suppose some particular device is not working in this case, it is very hard to identify which is not working. But if it is nicely connected, properly tagged which particular cable is going to which devices, it will be easy to troubleshoot. Clear? For you and for somebody else as well. Clear? So place each and everything in a nice way on the actual environment as well. Clear? So this is the wiring closet and rack inside it, and there are the devices, as I say, routers, switches, there can be servers. So you can see here the other devices, wireless devices as well. So there are the multiple devices, and on the rack or wire closet we are going to place those devices. Okay, similar thing I am going to use on the packet tracer as well. I want you to think from the starting. Yes, you are working on the actual devices, how the things are working in the actual production environment, so that you will gain the better confidence. So here is another example as well. Suppose this is all mess up things on the side. You can see, wow, it's hell to identify where actually what cable is going in which way. Okay, and when you nicely organize the things, it's easy to identify. Yeah. So after understanding all these things, what we are going to use, what we are going to see is like here is another example as well. It's totally mess up, so don't do it. Organize the things in a better way. So next phase is going to start with the working on the actual topology design. Clear? We understood the requirement of our project. Okay, we understood, yes, how many IP addresses we need, what network address we will use, what are the VLANs, how many devices we are going to use. Next thing is start to use something, say, yes. So here is the software. This is Cisco's packet tracer. Okay, uh, what we need to do is here we will use this software to create our topology, and believe me, it is going to help you uh, to configure the things what we have drawn on the paper. Clear? So let me introduce something here about this particular software, and then we will start working on it. There is a logical mode of it, so where actual devices you will see. Okay, there is a physical mode as well. Once you will click on the physical mode, it is going to show you there is a home city. Clear? So we have two sites, we need two racks, we need two routers, multiple switches, we need tables, how the connectivity we need to do. You can also design it from the on the physical mode. Okay, so like here in a home city. Clear? When you will click on it, we entered here. Clear? There is a corporate office, uh, and when you will click into it, you are now inside this corporate office, and you will see here there is a main wiring closet here. Clear? You can place the devices here on this one, or you can add the more rack here. Like we are in say let's if you want to go back on the one layer back, you can click on this this arrow button. Here is it's going it's giving you one layer back. Clear? So we are on corporate office. You can say here, you can also change the name of it. Say, let's say Olympus, uh, Olympus site. Yeah, and there are the building. You can also create the buildings. You can also create the generic container. There is a rack here, a new clothes set, and rack here inside. When you go, then you can also create racks here. So suppose this is the build. Here is, if you click, it's a container. We need note. So if you unnecessary some item you have created, how you can delete? Either you can select the devices and then press delete, or there is also a delete button here. Click on it, and it is whatever the item is selected, it is going to ask you, do you want to delete it? Yes, confirmation is there, you can delete it. So it's a delete. Clear? And then again you will click here to select button. Otherwise, once if it delete is selected, if you click on the other item, it is going to delete as well. So here is new building. If you want to create new building, like we have Olympus site, another is office building, there is Atlas NX. Okay, this is now we have two buildings, building Olympus site and NX site, Atlas NX. So now suppose inside particular site, when you will click here, you can also uh, add the rack. But what we need, we need here on Olympus site, we have three building A, B and C. Okay, so on Olympus site we can give this as name of building A. Clear? And let me copy this name. Okay, we can also create another building. Okay, building here B. Let me create another building as well. When you will click on the building, it will go on the top here. Okay, so you can drag this particular item and change it. So on the first, what we created three buildings in Olympus site and one building on the NX site, Atlas NX. Here is the way you can configure the buildings. We are on the physical mode. When we click on the logical mode, you are not going to see whatever the building you have created, or the rack or the wire closet you will create. You will not see here. On the logical side, what you will see the actual devices like, say, router, switches, endpoints, or the wireless devices you are going to see on the logical side, not on the physical side. But when you are on physical side, it is giving you the clear idea what exactly it was going on the behind the scene, where what devices we have placed here in building A, B, C. So you can also start from here, start to configure in this way. And I will also guide you how to configure the things where the devices are there, and what the things you can configure to achieve the objective of our configuration part of the topology. Clear? So you can save the project, so that accidentally, if you clicked on the close or power off, then you will not lose your work. Okay, so keep saving the project on different stages. Clear? Like on the first stage we have only placed the building. Okay, so you can save it in a one name of it. Say like suppose I have create save. Okay, and suppose I will save it as a name of on a NovaTech site. I will save it as the name of building design, and I'm giving it the name. Suppose this is my first phase of it. Okay, so say like this way. Clear?